The week off is nice, but you love games, so is it eager to get back out there?
Sure, we love games, and the week off gave us some prep and time to plan the next few weeks where there's going to be a ton of games. So it's very important for us to do both because we can't change the calendar, and that's what it is. So yeah, excited about now games coming up, and there's a lot of good teams that are our opponents over the next couple of weeks.
We'll get to that later because you don't want to look ahead, I'm guessing.
You're very right.
But when you look back, do you look back at because the last time you played Houston was a game you didn't like much at all. How do you look at that game?
Yeah, we've liked a few games that we've played against them, right? So I mean, again, they got the better of us in the Champions Cup game. But I thought for the most part, we have had some good performances there. Whether it was last season, and we had a good result against them here at home. So now we face them in MLS regular season play. Very tough team to break down, and you've seen it, even the red card. It's tough to break them down. They're defensively very stout, don't give many goals away, don't give many shots away. So yeah, again, we're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to be deliberate of what we do, and make sure that we connected because, they want to play the ball, play the game with the ball. I think they second highest possession team in the league. So they like to possess the ball, right? They have a lot of guys, intricate passes in the midfield, good combinations, good fluid play. And then they have dangers on the wide areas. Obviously they're missing Griffin with the red card, but it's a dangerous team to play for sure.
Brendan? Coach, coming off an extended break, are you able to add any new wrinkles? Is that something you like to do coming off of an extended break?
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to tinker around too much. It does give us opportunity to work on a few things and evaluate what we need to work on and the areas that we need to do it in. So I don't think it was an extended break. It was just a few days, and those few days gave a couple of the guys who were beat up some good time to recover. We got the players on the outside, Jubbs, Josh Yarrow, Edu, those guys all progressing. So yeah, it was good to not have a game, and that gives them a free week to kind of catch up. So, they used that time wisely as well.
Does that put you in a good spot with Jabulo and Yarrow, for instance? Are they in a good spot where, relative to their health right now?
Yeah, I think so. They are working every day. I see the GPS loads. I see them incrementally growing at a good rate and being ready for, contention to be reintroduced in training sessions and what have you. So I see a good progression there with those guys.
Coach, I'm sure you're always well aware of how teams are doing, especially in the West. But given that it's so packed and you guys were off last weekend, did you take some time to maybe watch some of the competition and see how the week in MLS played out?
Yeah, we do that regardless. We do that regardless. It's fun watching on the outside. Just to you can't be contributing in some way over the weekend, but obviously you have an eye on your future opponents, you have an eye on your direct opponent, you have an eye just on, the general league status of how everyone's doing, so it's nice to get a picture of everybody, and that's the fun part. But yeah, me and I know the team, we want to be playing games, so we felt we used the time wisely, had a game, and we felt, that we prepared very well for this upcoming game.
What kind of emotions does that elicit when you look like you're 6 points off first place, sitting in ninth right now? I mean, does that fire you guys up anymore?
I think that's a dangerous game to play if you think, it's just a win here or a win there, or, it's a sliding scale both ways. If you lose a game, you get disconnected from the pack at the top. If you win one, but again, we don't want to face those thought processes because we believe, you stay true to your course, and over the spell of 34 match days, if you've been putting out the performances like we have been, then we should be right where we need to be. So we don't want to have the fantasy too much where we're dreaming of what's ahead and how it looks, because we know it's hard work to get to those spots, and every point counts. But yeah, the victories become sweeter, and for sure that's what we were working towards. Yeah.
Bradley, you mentioned Houston is one of the highest possessing teams. A lot of that possession is in their own half. How does that suit City's playing style?
Yeah, it gives you opportunities to jump. We like to hunt the ball. We like to chase the ball. We like to play. It's no secret where we like to play the game and how we like to enforce our principles. And so, yeah, it gives us a good opportunity but we have to treat it with respect. It can't be careless. It can't be loose. It can't be random. It has to be synchronized, organized, connected with each other. Because if you don't do it all together, then they can hurt you. So, and they have some very good tools to do it. And they've shown that even, without, in the absence of Herrera, they can still do that, with Basi, still very good technical players, Kowalczyk popping underneath, like these things are predictable, they're going to happen, but sometimes it's very difficult to stop. So yeah, they're a good soccer team.
Coach, you mentioned Griffin Dorsey is going to miss this game. It's not often you get to plan for a player like his caliber missing, but does that offer an opportunity on that side of the field to take advantage of a player who is already hot like Celje Pompeu?
Yeah, I can't say who they're going to put in there, what scenarios. We've gone through different scenarios and prepared and planned adequately for that. At the end of the day, we just have to, we can't be inside those locker room or those coaches' offices. We can just prepare what we want to prepare. And I think we'll be fine just doing what we want to do. So, the minute you start overthinking what the opponent will do, then that just consumes time from you. And I think we'll gain valuable time thinking about us. And I think that's what we have done over the last couple of weeks is put the emphasis on us. And we've been pretty difficult to play against.
He's in the room, but any updates on Chris Durkin's health? You held him out earlier this week. Is he trending positive for this weekend?
Yeah, he's in the room. That's a good sign. So, we still have a couple of hours before kickoff and every hour is valuable. So yeah, it'll be a game time decision. So yeah, we'll get him ramped up and ready. And if he can play, I'm sure he's in contention and I'm sure he'll then be able to play. So yeah.
How would you categorize the midfield depth, regardless of if Chris can go? Jose, Akil?
Yeah, I think it's fluid. I think it's fluid. We had some good performances last week from the guys who didn't accrue so many minutes of late. So they put themselves in a good stand, and to get that volume of minutes is valuable, right? Especially at the intensity City 2 plays at, and it was a good exercise for us. I think we're fluid. I think there's a couple of guys that can pop into that spot. I think Jackson can pop in there if necessary. I think Indy can pop in there as he did last year. So there's a couple of options that we're trying to if Dirks can't go, but right now we're planning with him.
Just on the Edu front, is he rehabbing now, or is it still both issues going on with him?
Yeah, again, I'm not at liberty to discuss Edu's private matters, and I'll leave it at that. He's progressing with his injury. He got the loads that he needed to get this week, and I think he's getting himself in and around training-ish, and once we get him to a level where he feels comfortable to be around the group and train within the group, sometimes that's the best way to be. If you are dealing with certain things, I've been through it myself as a player. You get on the field, you forget a lot of things, right? So for that hour, 90 minutes, or whatever it is, it's an outlet, it's a resource. So I'm sure he's craving for that resource, and he's going to have every support, every opportunity when he's fit and ready and feels comfortable to do so, then we'll reintegrate him.
Just like this, it was nice to see Columbus last night advancing to the Champions Cup.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, it's a great advertisement for the MLS, right? It's massive to see clubs that, kick on to another level and go from strength to strength. And yeah, it's fun to watch, I mean, it's late kickoff time, so, I have to stay awake really late.
Anyone else? Apologies if I missed it, Coach, but
Oh, you're good.
meeting Houston again, you were already in their environment a little bit. What'd you kind of learn from that maybe you guys can lean on this week as you prepare for them again?
Yeah, I mean, there's all sort of conditions, there's field, there's weather, there's the team, and they're a pretty good team. They don't give much away. So yeah, they've had two skids now against Texas rivals. So obviously the game's going to be a tight, edgy game. We don't give up too much either in terms of shots conceded. So yeah, it's two defensively very good teams going at each other. So yeah, it's going to be decided in key moments, crucial moments, this game. So yeah, the less we give away, the better chance we'll have, especially playing away from home. So yeah, we have to focus on ourselves and make sure we put ourselves in the best chance or condition to win the game.
Coach, thank you for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's all.
Hey, Chris.
How you doing?
Thank you. How are you doing? How's the knee?
Yeah, it's progressing. Just a weird knock in the game against City 2 on past Saturday. But you know, doing everything I can to be out in the field, and it's definitely been progressing, which I've been happy with.
Yeah. So you're feeling good?
Yeah, I'm optimistic. You know, it's a conversation I need to have with the physio, doc, coaches on what makes sense. And like Coach said, it'll be a game time decision. And yeah.
What do you take from the 2 meetings you've already had with Houston this season?
Yeah, I think they're, you know, a really good team. A lot of, you know, good players that, you know, play a possession style. So I think it'll be a difficult game. I think it's good to have already played down there once this season, just to have that feeling already. And it's just about how we can control them in their half. I think, you know, I think we're really good at pressing high and winning balls in the opponent's half. So I think it provides a lot of good opportunities for us to win the ball. And then it's now just about us, how we can convert those chances. Brendan?
Hi, Chris. How would you categorize Sam's return to training? Was he welcomed back with open arms by the rest of your teammates?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I think Sam is a great guy, first and foremost. And, you know, we are, you know, thrilled to have anybody of his ability, you know, within the squad. I think, you know, when you just look at his physicality, speed, ability, and, you know, he's finished a lot of good chances so far this year. So we're really happy to have him back. And, you know, he's a really big threat for us, both starting and coming off the bench. So, I think he's always a great addition for us.
Hey, Chris. Now it's been a couple months. Just how natural does it feel at this point to mesh your style of game with what this club wants to do? Just now that you've been here for a while, how comfortable is it?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it since I've been here. From the first game, I feel like the team has really welcomed me in, and the coaches. You know, the fans have been amazing. I'm really just enjoying football at the moment, and that's at the end of the day, as a professional soccer player, that's what you want. So that's, you know, really checking a big box for me. And like I said before, it's, you know, it's coming down to a lot of what I have as habits on the field, and those come natural in this style of play. So really enjoying it, and you know, I think I've laid a foundation, but it's not set in stone. I think there's a lot of things I can be doing better, you know, to continue to help the team, to continue to push the guys. So definitely not a final product.
Hey, Chris, you've started and played against Houston this year for City. What do you feel you need to do learning from that, seeing tape on them to enforce your style of play?
Yeah, I think you know, it's going to be a hard team to score against. I think defensively they're good at home for sure, but I think if we're able to control their midfielders a bit more, I think you know, that'll be a good advantage for us. I think at times when we went to Houston last time, we let them pass around a little bit too easy. And I think if we're a little bit more in their face, I think if it's a little bit more of a game on our terms, chippy, physical, I think it could be a really positive game for us, and we could see a good amount of chances. So I think it's a great opportunity for us. I know all the guys are really excited to, you know, to be back on the pitch, getting out of that rhythm, you know, on a weekend basis. Sometimes isn't easy, so everybody's excited and anxious to be back on the field.
You've got four yellows right now. Does that enter your mind when you're out there?
Yeah, it definitely does. You know, coming into a rivalry game against Kansas, I was a bit worried with 4 yellows. I knew it was going to be a very physical game, and I was happy to get out of that game with no yellow. But you know, going 5 games without a yellow card to get one taken away is a tough ask. But you know, I'll certainly try my best. You know, I think it's just how I can eliminate the stupid yellow cards. That's my main job. You know, I mean, obviously at some points there's tactical fouls that you need to take. So it's in the back of my mind. I'm being smart, trying to be as nice to the ref as I can, and go from there.
And as a guy that covers a lot of ground on the field, what's it like to see what Rasmus Alm does with the energy and the what he does out there?
Yeah, he's certainly a guy that I can relate to, and a guy that I look at and just appreciate. You know, he does a lot of work for us, a lot of selfless running, and it's so crucial for our system to have a guy like that. He creates so many spaces, so many chances. and he pushes the guys around him. I think now that he's getting more and more close to 90 minutes fit, I think we'll continue to see even more from him. I think being out for so long has been tough for him, and he's wanted to be a part of the group for so long now. So he's a fantastic guy and does so much for us on the pitch that we're really lucky to have him.
How's the competition between you and him for like most ground covered? Maybe I understand it's a discussion in the room.
I mean, I can get nowhere near to his high speed running. He's, I think he's sprinting more than anything else. So hard to get there, but I'll give him in terms of distance covered. I'll get him in that department.
Chris, so different competition, but Houston took out St. Louis from CONCACAF Champions Cup. How does it feel to go back to Houston and maybe take a little bit of revenge from that series?
Yeah, it's definitely a little piece for us to look at. It's always frustrating. I look back on it and the aggregate score is 2-2, but we still lose. It's kind of frustrating how the away goal counts for more. So I think we can definitely put together a more complete performance in Houston this time. And that's just rallying with the whole group. I feel like we're in a good way right now. Away from home, we haven't gotten a win yet, but I certainly think we have, numerous chances to get the win. So it's just about being smarter throughout the whole 90 minutes. And, we're really pressing on that. So looking forward to the opportunity, and I know everybody else is too.
Chris, thank you for joining. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.